Hello, I'm Michi and that's my channel. Today I make intros and intros and intros. No! Today we have another of these playful puzzle videos. Course I have 200 pieces of Ravensburger puzzles of these moments, and I'm thinking maybe they have the same cut. And yes, they have the same cut. And then I decided to mix them and make a checkerboard out of it. I've built it. It was so funny to build it like this. You will see. So I hope you have also the pleasures of looking what's look like when you're building two puzzles simultaneous in a checkerboard. Yeah, that was a really funny thing to do. So enjoy. Hello. I think I made forward of intro, but here we have this. Here we have these two puzzles, and it's so funny that this special puzzle from Ravensburger, of course, the round puzzle and the 200, and I think also the 100 puzzle, have the same repeated piece cut. And so I have 200 pieces. This one I've bought a while ago. I think I have it now 1 or 2 years. 1.5 years. And the puzzle is really funny. I like the little puzzle. When I'm sometimes I take it with me and have a little puzzle. And the second was this mixtape, and I love this retro. I love this puzzle really. It's one of my favorite things I've got when I was young. A Walkman. I've always listened to music on tapes, and I have such tapes and mixtapes. And when I saw this on sale, then I think then I grab it and I take it with me. It only costs €5, I think, in sale or less than. And I thought, oh, that's a must-have. That I think I must have. And like the round puzzles, I've looked to see they have not the same height from the cutting, but in the middle I think the repeated piece cut, and so I think I want to make a checkerboard with both puzzles. And for this it's needing a little bit more sorting, but it's so funny to do this, and I'm really excited to to do. I hope it gets as nice as I want to. Maybe it's better to do first the puzzle and then do checkerboard, but I really try to do the checkerboard while building. So it's really a challenge, I think. So it's also everything, turn it and seeing every piece, because I really need to know which piece it's next and get in the next puzzle. So I think I make here an exception and build before the edge, and when I have the edge I build the middle in rows. It's only 200 pieces, I think it goes. Maybe it cost me a little more time to do this, but I'm really thinking it's so funny to do this. Let's do a checkerboard 200 piece challenge. So, I think it took me longer than I'm thinking of that it took me. I really didn't know the checkerboard is the 1x1 checkerboard is really a nice thing also to build, of course. You see always one apart. You can see here is this piece and this must be the next one, and instead of putting it in nearby this, then you put it in the other puzzle in this spot, and always vice versa. So it's really funny to do this. Let me take this apart. I think it's better to check this out. So I really like this playing with this puzzle, and you could mix it, and now I can mix the one puzzle in this form in one box and this puzzle in the other box, and can give anyone these puzzles and say build it for me. And it's a fun little way to make this a little bit difficult to build, or even to play a little bit with the building. Of course, this checkerboard building where you assemble two puzzles at once, but you build it one piece here, one piece there. It was really a nice gimmick to the puzzle. It's not all alignment, but the pieces in the middle are really similar. You can really easily build these puzzles together in the middle. Maybe when you don't want this feeling that they didn't fit at all, you can assemble the border and digging down the pieces here, and you also can mix this just now together in a box, and by the next build you have to build it this way, and that makes it a little bit funnier to do, I think. And the idea of mixing them or building them as checkerboard was really a good idea. I really enjoyed it. It was funny to the whole process, although I cheated a little bit. Of course, when I tried to build it, the first row, I thought I will build it one piece, one piece, one piece, one piece, but you have to search after one specific piece, and when you didn't find it, then it's difficult. And you have to hop between the two puzzles every piece you puzzle. So when I puzzle here a row and I find this piece and see, oh, that's the next piece, then I build the piece, build the puzzle at its pieces. Like I stay by one puzzle and do a bunch of puzzles of the one puzzle. So I do the one here, the second here, the third here, the next to it here, and so the checkerboard builds. Although I build puzzles by puzzle, but I stay at one puzzle to look at. And when I've got stuck or I have any edge and there is nothing left in this checkerboard to build, then I swap to the other puzzle, and then I do this piece, and swapping only, I dig it here, I dig it here, I dig it here, I dig it here, so that I have a nice line to build. And although I wanted the switching every time, every piece I've taken, and I want to do it in a row, but it was really annoying to look only after one piece. And after a little while, I get building in some of the sections. There are really distinct sections or this pattern, and I see this pattern in here, and then I build this here, this there, this here, this there, this here, this there, and trying to assemble while I'm doing here and there puzzles within the same puzzle. And that makes it a little bit easier, I think. Maybe to swap every piece on the puzzle at itself would it make a little bit more difficult, but it costs you many strengths. And when I have a distinct cassette, when I know the violet cassette is really one of a tape, sorry, in German they named Kassetten and not tape, and so I swapped the words. When you have distinct tapes like here and there, then it's easy to build a section. And when you swap the pieces through the puzzle, then you're doing one here, one there, one here, one there, and so it's a little bit easier to do this. Although I must stop when I'm stuck and I needed a piece of the other puzzle. So yes, it was a little bit like a little bit of cheating, but the checkerboard build was really amusement to its whole. And I think it took me a little bit more over an hour for 400 pieces, but always swapping the pieces, always swapping the picture or swapping the puzzle where I'm taken in. It was difficult, and you have more thought process, and you have to search the two fitting, aligning piece. And that's the second time where I think it's a little bit cheating. When I'm building the one section and I knew that's the puzzle piece shape of this, then I search through the other pieces and trying to do a little sort on shapes and search out only after this shape. I really puzzle not so much by shape. I puzzle more really on the picture, and it's difficult to explain. But when you have a picture, you also recognize the forms, but not so that's a distinct prong or an in and an out, and you don't look after the specific form of the shape of this puzzle. You do more puzzling after the picture. And although I switch always the picture, I puzzle more or less the most time after the picture. And the shapes I use to sort the pieces. So I need a piece with pink lines on it, and I knew it's a piece like 3 ins and 1 out, and then I search after the 3 ins and 1 out but I search after a piece that has these lines. So that's really a unique puzzle one to build, and I really want to buy me a third of this 200 piece puzzle, only that I could play a little bit more with 3 pictures and assemble 3 pictures at once in maybe checkerboard. Maybe, I don't know how it switch with 3 puzzles, but it would be a challenge in itself to build 3 puzzles simultaneously and then mixing the pictures in a row together. It would be really a funny thing to do, and I think I like this thought. Maybe I've got one day another of this 200 piece puzzles, and there are many of this 300 piece puzzle I never got. Of course, I'm really liking this big amount. I don't have many 500 piece puzzle. I'm plainly collected 1,000 piece puzzle, and 1,000 is the lowest piece count that I trouble with, because 1,000 piece puzzle I could build in 3 to 8 hours, I think, average, dependent on the picture. But it's amount of time when you feel that it took time and it is work and it's sometimes hard, and that's a feeling I like in puzzles too. So 500 pieces are always too easy for me. I never bother with 500 pieces. There are so less pieces. Why shouldn't it take me the time to build it? Of course, in 1 hour is the puzzle. Now in 2 hours the puzzle finished, and I have no things more to do. I really want to have a long experience when I'm doing a puzzle. And so 3 to 5 hours is the last thing I want to have in a puzzle. And 500 pieces didn't give me this feeling. And so it's a gimmick to have a 200 or a 100 piece puzzle or a 300 piece puzzle. And they're always... It's a fun little thing to do nearby, and that take me that long, and it's a funny way to do it with friends, or to have something to do on the table when you're drinking coffee with someone. It's not so much that it bothers me to have so much place, but it's always perhaps a nice little thing to do nearby. And so I've bought me 1 or 2 of this. That was on sale, and I'm always getting nostalgic. No. It always brings me back to my future, to my former days when I have the tapes and listen to my Walkman and go to school with it. And yeah, and this is one I've bought me to have a puzzle. That's a puzzle to go, I would say, so that I have one specific small one. But I think that was on sale too, so I buy my puzzle usually on sale. I didn't buy me puzzle in full price. They are mostly on sale, and so I've got the luck that I have 2 of these 200 piece puzzles from Ravensburger, and they have the same cut, and I recognize they have the same cut, and I can't play with it. So that's the thing with repeated piece cuts, is that this specific 200 or 300 or even the round puzzle with the color wheels have one specific cut pattern, and I've played with the 2 color wheels, and then I've got the thought in my mind, oh, maybe I could mix them together too, because there are also a similar line of small puzzles, and maybe they have repeated pit cuts. And yes, they have. Yeah, I really highly recommend. These 200 pieces make immense fun, although they're really fast. And when you have 2, mix them together, it's funny. And when you have a skilled mother or someone else, you can give him the other puzzle and you can do this simultaneously in other ways around, so that you have, then you can take them apart, the the check pattern apart, and mix them and lay them once together so that they are finished. But I really been thinking it's a funny way to do these puzzles, and I hope the little checkerboards, when I'm taking them apart and swapping them together, and also this, get a nice video touch. I don't do stop motion videos, but for stop motion it would be idle. I think when somebody take the gimmick or the thought of it and steal my idea of a stop motion film, then feel free. I don't do stop motion films, and so it would be a nice idea to see, but I don't want to. I have enough with building them in checkerboards and with laying them a little outline so you can see the puzzle itself. But I think the first building and the first small checkerboard was the funniest thing to see in the whole process. I think I leave it like that. I have said enough. I've talked and talked and talked, and I could ramble on. It's no problem for me. But I think you have enough. This video would be long enough. I want to try to make short videos, but they ever got too long because I'm talking so much. And that's the problem with not stopping and not having an interaction with you. Because I'm not a so talkative person. I really like to listen to people, really tense, and didn't say that much. But when I get in talking, then I talk and talk, and when nobody stopped me, then I get on talking. And so when I'm talking to myself, I'm talking with you, but I'm talking to myself, it gets longer and longer. So stop talking. Have a nice day, evening, morning, midday, dinner, whatever, and whenever you look the video. And bye, see you in the next. And happy hobby allerseits.